If you're over 70, there's a good chance no one's ever warned you about the habits that quietly wear you down. Not the obvious ones, the quiet ones. The ones that sneak into your day, feel normal, and slowly take a little more energy, balance, and strength than you realize. Aging by itself isn't the problem, but the way we go through it, especially when we're not paying attention to the little things, that can make a big difference. I've seen it with so many people. They just assume feeling tired, stiff, or foggy is part of getting older. But what if it's not? What if it's something you could actually do something about? That's what this video is about. I'm going to walk you through 6 small habits that many older adults fall into after 70. And the small changes that can help you feel better, think clearer, and stay more independent. Not overnight, not perfectly, but enough to start feeling like yourself again. And hey, if anything I say feels familiar, like I'm describing your day or your life, leave a comment and let me know. I read them. Care. You're not invisible here. Let's start with something simple but powerful. 1. Skipping water. One of the most common things I see after 70 is people not drinking enough water. And not because they're careless. It's because they don't feel thirsty anymore. That urge to drink fades as we get older. Your body just stops sending the signal the way it used to. So you go most of the day with coffee in the morning, maybe a little juice at lunch, and that's it. But here's the catch. Just because you don't feel thirsty doesn't mean your body doesn't need water. It absolutely does. In fact, it might need it more than ever. And when you don't get enough, the signs don't come with flashing lights. They show up as things you might already be feeling. Tired for no reason, trouble focusing, constipation, dry skin, dizziness, even urinary infections that come out of nowhere. I remember talking to someone named Frank, 78 years old, sharp mind, good routines, but he kept having these dizzy spells. He thought it was just age or maybe low blood pressure. Turned out it was dehydration. Nothing dramatic, just low, day-after-day water intake. A couple of weeks after he started drinking a small glass mid-morning and another one mid-afternoon, nothing extreme, his focus got better. His energy came back. Even his skin looked less dry. That's how subtle it can be. You don't need to carry around a gallon jug or force yourself to chug water all day. Just find a rhythm that works for you. Keep a small glass near your bed. Have a sip before meals. Even herbal tea counts. The key is to make it a quiet habit, not a big task. Because when your body stops asking for water, that's not a green light to skip it. That's your sign that you really need it. 2. Relying only on walking and skipping strength exercises. Now don't get me wrong, walking is wonderful. Clears your head, gets your blood moving, and keeps you mobile. But here's something most people don't realize after 70. Walking alone isn't enough to keep your body strong. That strength, especially in your legs, hips, and core, is what keeps you balanced, steady, and confident. And without some kind of strength training, your muscles slowly start to shrink. It happens to everyone. It's called sarcopenia, and it picks up speed as we age. You might be walking every single day and still notice that getting up from a chair feels harder, or that stairs leave your legs shaky. That's not just age. That's muscle loss. And when that strength fades, so does your stability, which is when small stumbles can turn into big falls. I remember a woman named Carol, 76. She walked every morning without fail. But over time, she started feeling weak in the legs. One day she reached for the TV remote, lost her balance, and fell. Nothing was broken, but she lost something just as important: her confidence. Her physical therapist said something that really stuck with me. She said, "Walking is cardio. Strength is what keeps you off the floor." So they started small. Wall push-ups, sit-to-stands from a chair, lifting soup cans while sitting down. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. Within a few months, Carol said she felt sturdier, more upright, and maybe most importantly, less afraid to move. That's the power of strength work. It's not about building big muscles. It's about staying independent, opening jars, carrying groceries, getting off the toilet without help. And no, you don't need a gym. You just need a little resistance, your own body weight, light hand weights, or even resistance bands 2 or 3 times a week. Because after 70, the real risk isn't moving too much. It's moving too little, and slowly losing the strength that makes everyday life feel easy. 3. Eating too little out of fear, not health. Here's something a lot of older adults won't say out loud, but I've seen it more times than I can count. They start eating less not because their body tells them to, but because they're afraid. Afraid of gaining weight. Afraid the doctor will say, "Watch what you eat." Afraid of becoming the unhealthy version of aging they've always tried to avoid. So they start cutting back, smaller breakfasts, skipping lunch, picking at snacks instead of eating a full dinner. And it feels like the responsible thing to do. But here's the truth. After 70, eating too little can be just as dangerous as eating too much. Your body still needs fuel, especially protein, healthy fats, and enough calories to keep your muscles, brain, and immune system working. When you don't eat enough, your body starts pulling from itself to get what it needs. And that leads to weakness, slower healing, brain fog, weight loss that's not healthy, and even more risk of falling. There was a man I knew named Ed, 81. Very disciplined. He'd been eating light his whole life. Same 3 meals for years. Toast and coffee, a sandwich and soup. He thought it kept him sharp. But then his energy dropped. His legs got shaky. He bruised easily. A nutritionist helped him tweak just a few things. An egg at breakfast, a little peanut butter with his crackers, some protein powder in his oatmeal. That's it. And within weeks, he was back to moving better, thinking more clearly, and smiling again. This isn't about eating big. It's about eating enough. Enough to stay strong. Enough to stay upright. Enough to live, not just get through the day. And if you found yourself saying, "I'm just not that hungry anymore," I believe you. But that doesn't mean your body doesn't need nourishment. You're not a burden for needing food. You're not doing something wrong by giving your body what it needs to stay healthy. Strength, clarity, and resilience don't come from cutting back. They come from giving your body the fuel it deserves. 4. Taking medications without reviewing them regularly. Let's talk about something that's easy to overlook, but can quietly cause a lot of harm if you're not paying attention. Your medications. Most people over 70 are taking something, maybe for blood pressure, cholesterol, sleep, or joint pain. And for good reason. These meds are often started with care. But here's where it gets risky. Your body changes with age. Your medications don't. Your liver and kidneys may slow down. Your sensitivity to side effects increases. And if you're on multiple prescriptions, or mixing them with over-the-counter pills, vitamins, or herbal teas, those little interactions can sneak up on you. I knew a woman named Jean, 79. She'd been on the same medications for over 10 years. Never missed a dose. But she started feeling foggy during the day, sleeping more, and occasionally slurring her words. Everyone thought it was just aging, until her daughter pushed for a medication review. The pharmacist took a close look and found 2 of her meds that, while fine a decade ago, were now interacting in a way that her body couldn't handle anymore. They adjusted the dose, stopped one, and within a few weeks, Jean was sharper, more alert, back to her old self. This kind of thing happens all the time. That's why every year, at least once, you should sit down with your doctor or pharmacist and go over everything you're taking. Prescription drugs, supplements, vitamins, even sleep aids. Ask, do I still need this? Is the dose right for my age? Is anything here causing more harm than help? This isn't about throwing away your meds. It's about making sure they're still helping you, not silently dragging you down. Your health after 70 isn't just about what you take. It's about how safely and wisely you take it. 5. Staying indoors. I know it's tempting to stay inside, especially when the weather's not great or when you're just feeling tired. But spending too much time indoors can quietly affect your health in ways you might not notice right away. One of the biggest problems is that you miss out on sunlight. And sunlight does more than just brighten your day. It helps your body produce vitamin D. Vitamin D is important because it keeps your bones strong, helps your immune system, and even plays a big role in your mood. When you don't get enough sunlight, your body can become low on vitamin D, and that can lead to weak bones, more aches and pains, and feelings of sadness or depression. It's a tricky thing because you might not realize it's the sunlight you're missing until you start feeling those effects. But here's a little secret that can help. Just stepping outside for 10 minutes every day can make a huge difference. You don't have to take a long walk or do anything complicated. Just sit on your porch, balcony, or by a sunny window and soak up some natural light. It's like giving your body a small dose of natural medicine. Let me tell you about Lester. Lester used to be very active, but after retiring, he found himself spending almost all day inside his house. He'd watch TV, read, and maybe do a little gardening through the window. Slowly, he noticed he was feeling more tired, his joints ached more, and sometimes he felt down or lonely. His doctor mentioned low vitamin D, but Lester wasn't sure what to do about it. Once Lester started spending just 10 minutes a day sitting on his porch in the morning sun, things began to change. His energy improved, his mood lifted, and even his aches felt less painful. It wasn't magic, just simple sunlight helping his body do its job better. He started looking forward to those few quiet moments outside every day. So if you've been mostly indoors, give yourself permission to step outside a little each day. It's a small habit that brings big benefits, not only for your body but for your mind, too. Remember, sunlight really can be your best mood medicine. 6. Avoiding technology. I get it. Technology can feel overwhelming sometimes, especially if you didn't grow up with it all around you. But here's the thing. Avoiding tech completely might actually make life harder, not easier. Technology is one of the best tools out there to help you stay connected with family and friends, especially when you can't see them in person. Take Marie's story, for example. She lives a few states away from her grandchildren and missed seeing them grow up in person. At first, she was hesitant about video calls, thinking it would be too confusing or that she'd mess up. But with a little patience, she learned how to use one simple app just to make video calls. Now, every week, she chats with her grandkids face-to-face on the screen. She says those moments brighten her week and make her feel close to family no matter the distance. You don't need to become a tech expert overnight. The key is to start small. Pick just one app or one function that's useful to you. Maybe it's video calling, sending a quick message, or even just looking up your favorite recipes online. Learning one thing at a time makes technology less scary and more helpful. There are apps designed especially with seniors in mind, simple, easy to use, and safe. Think of technology as a bridge, not a barrier, that can keep you engaged, entertained, and connected. So don't shy away from it. Embrace the little wins, and soon enough, you might find yourself looking forward to your tech time just as much as your morning coffee. These 6 simple habits can truly change how you feel every day. Better sleep, gentle movement, staying connected, spending time outside, and even using a bit of technology. Each one helps you stay healthier, happier, and more in control of your life. You're never too old to make positive changes. In fact, with all your experience, you're exactly the right person to choose what matters most and take steps toward feeling your best. Which habit surprised you the most? Share the number in the comments. I'd love to hear what stands out to you. If this message resonates, subscribe, like, and share it with someone special who's embracing life at their own pace. Aging strong is a journey we all deserve.